Welcome back to the Phenoms Part 2, Week 4 predictions. This week, guys, we have some epic showdowns, and let me just look at the standings real fast because I'm just making sure. Yeah, there is only one unbeaten team, and that's me. And to be honest, people are like, how did you get so good? And it's because I quit drinking, and I quit eating sugar, and I quit eating carbs that aren't vegetables. And so, really, those are the things that I did. I'm also 3-0. This week, I play bye week. And bye week, you are 1-2. I am TATANKA BLANCO. I'm 3-0. Things are looking good. Now, amazingly, the projections have us tied up 98-98. Oh man, Coke Zero because I don't eat sugar, um, or drink alcohol because I don't have to because I do this Coke Zero. When I'm just looking at it, if we're just going off bench points, my bench scores 100 more points than yours. So, judging by ESPN projections, if it were to be a tie, I would still win. But that's not the way I see it. When I'm looking at the roster this week, and I'm seeing a lineup full of green opponents, meaning they're terrible at their respective guarding these respective fantasy positions. Bye week, no offense, this isn't going to be your week. You're going to go 1-3. I'm still going to be undefeated because I'm 3-0 right now. I'm undefeated, and but this isn't going to be your week, and I can just be short with it. I don't even have to go in depth or anything. Um, that's what it is. And I don't get your feelings hurt. I mean, you could be good. You have all the potential, but just probably this isn't your year. Your lineup doesn't look terrible, but actually it does look terrible. This is not good. So next we have Downtown St. Brown versus Hamburgini. Ooh, a battle. See, this is an interesting battle to me because I know that you guys are actually good fantasy players, though your record doesn't show it. You're both 1-2, and you're both usually pretty good. Hamburgini, you're projected to win by one this week by ESPN standards. Mm, but I'm just eyeing it real fast. Both of you got some suspect people in there, like Matthew Golden. He probably averages 2 points a game. Franklin probably averages less than that. Nobody's ever heard of him. Trey Benson is the guy. I've been saying it actually on this show for about 2, 3 weeks now. I didn't actually see. I'm assuming Connor got hurt, so yeah, he's going to be the guy. That may work out. So like when I'm really eyeing this, you're both 1-2. Really good epic battle. Kane, you got lucky. Apparently, David Montgomery's a guy now. And looking at this roster back and forth, you both have suspect people, but I believe that Hamburgini has less suspect people. Listen, BJ, you're good at fantasy. You're good at life. You're good at a lot of stuff. Um, Overall, you're good at fantasy. I don't think this is going to be your year. I think you're probably going to have a losing record this year. I mean, you can prove me wrong, but based on what I'm looking at right here, Hamburgini, you got this one. You got a victory this week. You go 500, and BJ, you go 1-3. You're gonna have to dig your way out of a hole, and that's gonna be real bad. We're gonna have to call Rusty in, get you out of the hole. You know what I mean? You're like baby Jessica in the well. Rusty's gonna have to show up. He's gonna be like, BJ, you okay down there in the hole? He's gonna have to jerk you out. Then we're gonna have to give you water and all that stuff. And then you're gonna be on 2020 and all the other stuff later. You know what I mean? That's basically gonna be you after this week. No offense. Hamburgini pulls it out, goes 500. Rebuilding season versus Red Nuts. This is a opposite of what I just said. They were 1-2. You guys are 2-1. Red Nuts 2-1. Looking at that, Red Nuts. I don't even know who I played last week. Who did I play? Did I play you, Red Nuts? Whatever. It's not good. You guys got terrible looking quarterbacks just on the surface. Like if we went back to draft day, and you guys drafted Caleb Williams or Drake May as your first quarterback pick, it would have been pure embarrassment. But somehow, I guess they're pretty good this year. Looking back and forth at this rosters and lineups, I'm going to be honest. Rebuilding season. You're also projected a tie this week, 95. I just think ESPN doesn't know how to thoroughly do the analysis like I do. Red Nuts, you're going to go 500. Mitchell, every time I pick you, I'm 13-15 on the year, and I also don't eat sugar anymore. And every time I pick you, you do me wrong. But I am actually going Mitchell this week. You go 500, and if you blow it again, I don't care if you're playing third grade girls. I'm not picking you anymore. So this is your week. Mitchell, let's get your life together. You are going to be in the 500 club, which you couldn't have been statistically. You were like, how am I not in the 500 club? And I was like, because you've only played 3 games, and no matter where, unless you're undefeated, means you're better. You just means you're undefeated. You know what I mean? But you weren't. Like, there was no statistical way that you could have been 500. So you should learn math. Next is Willie Nelson versus Wrecking Crew. This was a topic of conversation last night betwixt the two, and so one of you are 1-2, and one of you are 2-1. So I was just doing the math here, because Kyle, you have 1 win, Wrecking Crew, Cody, you have 2, and 1 plus 2 equals 3. So it's weird because I have the same amount of wins as you guys, but just like one team. Like, you put your wins together. I would be willing to bet if you two even put your lineups together, maybe you're not 3-0. So it's not a big deal. I just know how to draft it. But ESPN projects Wrecking Crew 106-93. I think we're going to probably take Wrecking Crew. Real quick glance. I'm personally not a fan of Kamara. I mean, because he's older. And I know he's even had good weeks, and I know he has potential, but I'm just not a fan. Jaylen Warren, he's good. He's really good. Jaylen Warren's super good. Jamar Chase. I mean, it looks like you have a superhero roster. The best best person on your entire team, Willie Nelson, is Buffalo's defense. That's good for 70 a week, but I don't know if 70 is going to get it this week. Honestly, McCaffrey turned out to be McCaffrey last week. I know everybody's like waiting for him to get hurt, but what if he doesn't get hurt and it turns out he's just still McCaffrey? So by that alone, no offense, Willie Nelson, I believe you go 1-3, and I'm taking Wrecking Crew. Though Quentin Johnson's the most suspect guy on your roster, J.K. Dobbins is quietly pretty good at fantasy this year. So, Wrecking Crew, I think you roll in this one. You're 3-1. Kyle, you're Willie Nelson. And what's really weird about that stat is I believe if you put your two teams together and put your wins together, I'm still going to have the same record as you would combined wins-wise. Anyway, moving on. Hey, let's just move it on. Hey, you don't win unless you're in. Not sponsored. So, I'm going this week, Better Call Purcell versus Rusty Buckets of Dookie. Okay, so here's the thing. You're both 1-2. Okay, we got a pro Honduran basketball player, and we got tickle shits. And you two together are Honduran tickle shits. And this is going to be an epic matchup. ESPN projects Better Call Purcell at 100, tickle shits at 98. And, looking back and forth, I don't know, is Jaden Daniels actually going to play? Is he fully healthy? I didn't read reports. I don't have to. When you're the Swami and you just know stuff, you just know it. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't think he's that healthy, but you're going against Josh Allen. You weren't going to really get that one anyway, Better Call Purcell. Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason. I don't know if you had him on your roster, Jordan Mason, but that was a great pickup. Here's the thing, Rusty. I read your first 4 players. I'm like, that's a pretty good roster. And then I read the remaining players. That's a terrible roster. I strangely like Tyler Warren for some reason, but Genty, as I say every week, I don't think he's good. I really don't. And looking at this, now that Omarion Hampton has 0 competition for touches, Romeo Odunze had a pretty big week. Judkins, I know you picked him up off of waivers. I don't know, man. This is actually a tough one. This is literally a tough one for me because, Rusty, your first 3 players could have 80 points betwixt them, all. But there's a reason. There's a reason that Will is a professional Honduran basketball player, sponsored by different companies who's got a lot of big sponsorships. There's a reason that he is a professional. You know what I mean? I was going to spit out a quote. To be honest, I went blank trying to spit out the quote, so I'm not going to say it. I'm just simply going to say that tickle shits, this isn't your week. You're going to go 1-3, and Will, you're going 2-2. Welcome back to the 500 Club. I appreciate everybody's time, and I love everybody and love all your patience and all that stuff. And, let's get off here, and you guys have a good week. I'll see you with the Week 4 recap.